Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to clean some whole chicken wings. And I just have a pack of chicken here from the market. All I did was open up the packet a little bit just to check the wings. It's just a small pack just for this demonstration. So before I open this pack of chicken and place it in the sink, I already cleaned out my sink entirely. I'm just going to put this in the trash. I cleaned out this sink completely because I want to make sure that it's clean even before I put raw meat in it. Always make sure your sink is clean before you put any food in it. And I'm going to clean it again afterwards. But all I'm going to do is just dump the chicken, as you saw, into the sink. And I'm going to turn on the cold water. And I'm going to take each chicken wing one by one. And I'm just going to thoroughly rinse it in the sink. Growing up cleaning chicken, I was taught a couple different techniques to cleaning chicken. Sometimes you put it in some cold salty water, especially if it's still frozen. That was the techniques that I learned growing up. However, now that I know, I've taken a sanitation class and I am certified in sanitation for food handlers. I know that you never want to thaw any food, any meat especially, and just sitting in water. You can sit it in the sink and have the water running on it for it to thaw, but you don't want to sit it alone in water, or not for a long period of time. So if you are really a stickler for having your chicken sit in salty water, just remember to not have it go for too long, like maybe like 30-minute increments, if that. I wouldn't even say that long. And just make sure you refresh with some fresh cold water. But as you see, all I'm doing is just making sure that anything that doesn't belong on the chicken wing, so any fatty film, any film left over from when they skinned the chicken, I want to make sure all of that is off of the chicken. But I also want to make sure that there are no feathers or hairs on the chicken. And the feathers are easy, you can just pull them off. But it's the hairs that you'll have to singe off. Sometimes you can get them off with a knife, with the back of a knife, but it's just much easier to just singe them off. Like, there was a hair that just pulled right off. And as you see, I'm just taking the feathers that I pull off and the hairs that I pull off and just placing them in the sink. And I just want to make sure that there's nothing extra. If anything's left on here, it's just the hair that needs to be singed off. And as you see, the more I run my fingers over the chicken, the more I can see that there are still feathers on there. So that's all I'm doing. And I just place the feathers in the trash bag instead of in your sink, because then that's just extra cleaning you have to do. So again, I'll take each chicken wing and rinse it very thoroughly. Just going over and making sure that there's no extra filmy, anything residue that's on the chicken wing. I just thoroughly clean it all off, inspect it really well, rinse it really well. And then once I do that, I'm going to place it in my bowl. And as I'm looking at this chicken, it does have some hairs. I'm not sure if you can see them. It does have a few hairs that I'll singe off at the end. So again, move right on to the next piece. As you can see, here's some feathers. This one had a lot of feathers. You can do this with your fingers. As you can see, I just cut my nails, so I don't have any nails, so you don't have to have nails to do this. But you can also do this with the back of a knife. Sometimes I do it with the back of a knife, but I didn't choose to use one today. But again, all I'm doing is just cleaning off any extra film, any extra, whatever that membrane is that's right underneath of the skin, right on top of the skin and under the feathers. I'm getting all of that off, and any feathers and hair left behind. Sometimes also there'll be a feather that may have broke off and didn't come all the way out the chicken, but you'll be able to feel that. See, there's one right there. And I'm just gonna pull that out. It would be so much easier if I had a knife. I should have used it. I'm gonna get this, y'all. Watch. There we go. So you can easily feel that as you're taking your fingers across the chicken. You can easily feel that there's something extra in there, so you just pull that right out like I did. This one piece was full of feathers. And again, just like the previous pieces, just thoroughly rinsing it off with water, getting all of the filmy pieces off like that, fatty pieces, just so that your chicken wing is clean, ready to eat it. You can do this as soon as you buy your chicken at the store. As soon as you come in from the market, you can just open up the pack and clean it and put it away that way. So that way when you're ready to make your chicken, it's already clean and you don't have to do this step again. You can also take it one step further, and when you're cleaning your chicken, just season it up right there. So even if you put it into freezer bags and put it in the freezer for a later time, you already have chicken that's already clean and seasoned and prepared for you, which is a huge time saver. I'm not going to cook this chicken today. I'm going to place this chicken in a bowl once I'm done cleaning and singeing the hairs off. It's just going to go, it's going to be in this bowl, and I'm just going to season it up for tomorrow. Not all chicken wings is going to have this much stuff to clean off. I'm just glad that this pack of chicken did, so that I can demonstrate how to get it off. Some chicken comes way cleaner than others, so depending on where you buy your chicken or what brand of chicken you use is going to depend on how much stuff you'll be getting off of it. And again, just want to remind you, you can do this with the back of a knife if you don't want to use your fingers. You can also wear gloves if you don't like touching raw chicken, because I know a lot of people do not like touching raw chicken. I just use my hands because I like to feel. I know if there's still something there that I need to take off, and I know if there isn't anything else, and I can stop cleaning in addition to me looking at it. Like this one's got some extra film on it, and I just want to make sure I'm getting it all off. Excuse me. The windows are open and my allergies are cleared. This really was a filmy piece of chicken. Again, it's your preference if you want to get every single piece of filmy, piece of old fat that's on there off. But for me, that's just how I do it. I like to get as much off. Like that bowl, I may just run back under the water again after I'm done. You can also fill the sink with water and do this with the sink of water, but then you'll have to like dump the water out and rinse and do it again. So I just usually do this under the sink running water. It's just easier for me this way. That one was much easier to clean than the previous one. I also think that this stuff is easier when you first purchase the chicken versus if you freeze it and thaw it out and then clean the chicken. I think that this process is easier when you do it with fresh the fresh pack that you bought instead of a frozen pack that you thawed out and then did it. My hands are so greasy from all of this fat that I'm pulling off of here. Oh, look at that. This one's got some pretty big feathers. Get all them feathers and things out of the nooks and crannies. Yeah, this is a very feathery piece of chicken. This piece of chicken had a lot of feathers. Another piece had a lot of feathers too. If you get a piece of chicken and you see some bruising like this, if the chicken is not too bruised, like if it's not really, really dark, I say you can still use it. But if this is really, really dark and bruised, like maybe the chicken was harmed before, you know, it was slaughtered, then I wouldn't use that piece. Because you're not sure what happened to the flesh of that chicken, so I wouldn't eat it. But this right here is just a little bit, so it's okay. My hands are so greasy from all of the fat I've been rubbing off. Look at that. So I'm on the last piece in this pack. And this piece has a little bit of bruising as well, but not too much. So this piece right here, you see that? That is where they kind of singed off some of those feathers and hair. They did some, but not a lot. But I can see right there where they did. So maybe that was a huge feather and they just put some fire on it. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. I wasn't at the company. But I know I'm happy that I'm at the end because I want to wash this off my hands. So what I like to do is I just like to go back through all the wings that I just did just to make sure that they're clean enough for my liking. And empty out the little bit of water that was in there, rinse it out real good. And now this chicken is clean, and all I'm gonna do now is just take it over to the stove and singe off some of those hairs that were left over. I'm cooking on a gas range, so I'm able to do this on the stove top. If you aren't cooking on a gas range, you can use one of those. If you're cooking on electric, you can use one of those long lighters that people use for the grill. You can use one of those. I'm going to just singe the hair off of this because this is all done. Singe this, season it up, and place it in the refrigerator for tomorrow. So if you're cleaning your chicken, once it's done to this point, you can just go ahead and clean it. Sorry that the water's still on, but I have to wash my hands, so I left it on. This chicken is ready. All you have to do is just singe the hair off, and it's ready to cook, or it's ready to season and put away for another day. So I hope that this tutorial on how to clean chicken wings has helped you. And if you have always been afraid to try chicken wings or make the chicken wings your own self because you were afraid to clean them, I hope this video will help you. And if it does, please comment or reach out to me and let me know. Thank you.